Well, hello there. I am Vanessa Amorti, and we're going to talk about public speaking in this English 101. So, in this first meeting of English 101, we're going to talk about public speaking. So, this course really works as an introductory guide on how to see public speaking and how to do public speaking, and works really well on MUNs. So let's just get going. But first, let's start with an opening of an example. Probably everyone's been in a situation where it feels like I don't know what to do, or I don't know what to say, or I'm too embarrassed to even talk, or maybe thinking, well, my English sucks. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't talk. Or just like, what did you say again? Well, probably everyone here who's watching it has been at this point where in life when they're doing any kinds of fun, and there's nothing wrong about it at all. It's totally normal, it's totally fine. I've been there before. I've been in the situation where I don't know what to say and my mind just go blank. Probably if we use an example that everyone can relate, it'll make more sense. So imagine that you're hanging out with your friends, and then you suddenly heard someone, maybe a friend of yours, like you can imagine if he's like a friend or like a boyfriend, that's up to you. I'm not gonna judge. So let's just imagine there's this guy called Ethan. He's already married and he decided to divorce and then remarry again. And then your friend told this to you and she asked, what do you think about Ethan? And you answered, I don't know. I don't know him much. I just think that's unwise. And then your friend asked, oh, really? Why do you think it's unwise? And you just answered, in my opinion, it doesn't look like it's a really good thing, so yeah. But what if we change how we put our opinion? What if you say it like this? I don't know, man. I know that Ethan is not my friend or anything, but I don't think it's wise. Like, well, what does he hope for? What is he hoping for? Eloping for less than a month? Like, is that kind of questionable? I don't know. I don't think it's wise in any kind of way. Do you see any differences? If I was the friend who asked, I would really be interested in what she is saying. With all the emotions and the expressions, it just makes it more interesting and you want to take more information from that. So it really matters in how you give your opinion. It matters the way you deliver it. Really helps it really helps you to deliver your point. So, and this is a situation where we face almost every day, like when we hang out with friends and we're trying to tell a story and tell our opinion. And if you think about it, whatever you do, there's going to be different kinds of response. Maybe there's the one that's like, oh, hey, that's a good thing, and like positive. Maybe some of them resent it, or others just take a second to think about it again. But what's the main point of us discussing this? It means the point is that your opinion matters. It depends on how you deliver it. If you make your opinion sound that it matters, it will matter. So this is how we conclude the public speaking, is that the way you deliver it will affect how these people will respond, and it will show from how they took it, as does it, how much does it matter, and what scale does it matter, and what importance does it matter. So maybe by using these examples you can understand that in public speaking, what really matters is that how you deliver it and how it will affect people who listen to it. How you deliver it really affects how people see you and how people take the opinion and how people react to it. And what we're trying to do is that we're going to do something with how we deliver our points, so that hopefully people will react to the way how we expect them to. Well, that's for the open examples. Let's get started. So what is public speaking exactly? If you noticed from the two examples that I've been giving, I've been talking a lot about response, how people react. It's because there's this understanding that is quite misleading, in my opinion, where people think public speaking is just you talking with a bunch of people. What you need to understand is public speaking is actually a conversation with more than one person. Why do I say it as a conversation? Because the emotions, that the response, like you feel happy, you feel sad, you feel angry, you feel like it was a very not useful, unuseful information, it made you think for a while, it made you resent about something. That is a response. And in communication, what matters is a two-way communication, where when a shared value affect both parties. In public speaking, it's only one person that's talking. But it doesn't mean that the one who are listening cannot give any response. They do give response indirectly. So that means it's important for you to see that public speaking is actually a conversation. So you need to stop thinking that public speaking is just you talking. It's just you talking with yourself in front of a bunch of people who just happen to stare at you. You should see it as a conversation. So you need to remember, you are not talking to yourself when you're making public speaking. You have people listen to you. You have people react to you. So with that in mind, that means you have to make sure you make it as a conversation instead of a monologue. Why do I say as a conversation, not a monologue? It means you need to make sure that what you are saying is engaging and people can listen to it. And people can take something from it, and people can respond something from it. Maybe they won't give a very direct reply because it's kind of not allowed in the MUN other than on Model Caucus. But you can make people be affected by what you say. So, how do you make sure that your speech could be pretty influential? First of all, you need to know what you're talking about. You need to know the main point, and you need to know why you are delivering that. So that means that your first intention and so it means that your intention and then your main point of what you want to deliver plays a very important role in preparing a speech. And it also helps you to stay on track. By knowing what your main point is and by remembering your main purpose, it will help you to stay on the track of your idea, to make it as clear as possible, so that when you deliver what you want to say, it doesn't go everywhere. And second, make people think about it. What does it mean to make people think about it? When in here stated that it really should be an opinion that you want to be discussed. It's opinion that's not passive. It's an opinion that you want people to talk about. So it's easier if you are like the second or the third turn. It may be like a motion or maybe in a general speakers list, because you can refer. Forget the one. So what does it mean to make people think about it? What it means here is that it needs to be something that people consider and rethink and to react in any sort of way. So it's easier if we put it like this. So if you're in the first turn, then maybe, I don't know, GSL or emotion, make sure it's relevant and make sure people understands what you are trying to say. For example, if I say with the first example, with the redundant one, this delegate would like to encourage the member states in this room to have a fruitful discussion, and so we can have a common framework regarding the issue that we're talking about. Isn't it kind of like redundant? Doesn't everyone is here to have that? Like, if it's redundant, people won't really even give it 30 seconds of time to listen to it. They don't have that much time. But if you say it like this delegate realized that the main problem of this issue is that there are specific controversial topics that we don't even dare to discuss about, and this delegate thinks that it is crucial for us to discuss those specific topics in order to find the actual solution. So this delegate would like to encourage everyone in here to be more specific in problems that they are facing and problems that they think shouldn't be a problem, so that we can understand what are the causes and what are the actions that we should take regarding the topic. Thank you very much. It's different. It's kind of specific. Agak-agak menjurus. It's like you already have the intention, because the intention is that you want people to talk more about the controversial topics, because not all countries would want to do that, but you get what I mean. And if you are not the first, make the past ones relevant. So make sure when you are, if you're not the first, if you're the second, if you're the third or the fourth or the last turn for you to speak, make sure you include what has been discussed previously. That is so that everyone's opinion and what you are saying is also relevant. And this also helps to acknowledge what is going on, and so after that, what really is important is you need to write down only helping points. Don't write paragraphs. Oh, okay. Why is it not encouraged to make paragraphs? Paragraph is like the type of note writing when you do, like, you write down almost every single thing you're going to speak of, that you're going to point out. It doesn't help you in any single way. Notes are supposed to assist. Notes are supposed to assist. Repeat after me. Notes are supposed to assist, not dictate. And also, if you used a paragraph kind of notes, it will take every single attention that you have that you could have used to make it more engaging by having eye contact. So it is pretty crucial for you to please don't make paragraphs like no, like no this, no this, no this. Nobody likes this. And how do you make sure that your points are good? You do that so how do you so in order for you to make your main point effective, it is better for you to elaborate it into 3 points. So by doing thrice, you're making sure that all of your points have 3 kinds of points. This will help you to make sense of what you want to talk about, and this will also help you to make sense what are the things that are important and need to be prioritized to talk about. And how do you make sure that this one is possible? Like no other answer. You need to listen to what people talk about. If you want people to listen to you, you need to listen to what people talk. This is the key to be a good delegate. They need to listen to what is going on so that they understand the flow of the debate, the things that are happening. So listening plays a very crucial role for you to compose and to prepare a speech. So I understand that when people talk so long and it just makes you very sleepy and you just ends up go back to your phone, and when it's your turn you're just like what, like the surprised Pikachu face. But in order for you to be able to make sense of what is going on, just write down what is everyone talking about. I prefer to write down per motion because so that I can map out what people have been saying, and it's possible for me to make sense of the flow of the interest, like what did this person said in the beginning or what did this person said on the last. It does help me. Some people just writes down important points of what they're talking about by country. Just write down what everyone is talking about. It helps you to make sense of what is going on, and it helps you to make sense of what is everyone wants. And how do you compose a minimum 1 minute speech? I did mention that you need to make thrice, right? The 3 points thing. Make sure they go chronologically or chained or nyambung. Like I can't find another word that fits better. Just imagine that you're making an essay or like making a paper. You have lots of ideas, but they're jumbled, like goes everywhere. It'll sound and it'll be easier to digest if you make them chronologically chained and goes well with each other, and it makes it easier to make sense. And make the past points relevant. Like I mentioned, it helps people with knowledge and helps listeners to make sense of the debate. You are actually being kind by pointing out what was relevant. It's as easy as concluding what everyone has been talking about, as easy as just delegate scenes that there are 2 kinds of opinions in here, blah 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 blah, stated by blah 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 blah, and blah 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 blah, kind of like that. Or maybe saying something like, this delegate stated that this is although there are some problems regarding that, blah 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 blah. But this delegate did said something very interesting about that. helps that you're doing everyone a favor, because I'm pretty sure you're not the only person who is drowsy in the room. And how do you make everything in here effective? How can you know that you made a good speech? Like, I'm vigorously underlining it. But yeah. It has to be this. It has to be practice. You gotta practice. There's no other way. So there are some ways. There is one training format that has been helping me build my speech quite a lot. So I call this 15 to 5. So my coach previously taught me how to do this. So it's as easy as that. You need, at the first level, you need to compose a speech in 15 minutes. And then if you're already comfortable with that, you need to challenge yourself, go with composing speech in 10 minutes. And then after that, if you're already past that, you need to compose a speech in 7 minutes, and then you get to compose a speech in 5 minutes. As simple as that. If you need to revise that speech, it's okay if you revise it. If you think that there's some works that could be done, it's okay. It really is a format of speech that helps you to adapt on the place and helps you to know where you get it wrong. And if you're asking what is the kind of speech that has a very good structure, well, there's a lot of kind of structures. Like, there's one with the introduce, cite, and evidence, usually used for paper and essay. Really helps if you want to make essays. Introduce, the cite, the evidence, and then there's people who use the introduce, main, conclusion. Personally, I do the hook, elaborate, and conclude. Well, as long as you make those 3 points go chronologically. So it really needs to have the intro and then the suspense, and then you conclude it. That's like the structure for dummies, kind of. And then the easiest thing is that you need to remember these 4. Calm. Breathe. When you breathe, it helps you to be calm. It helps you to have a clear head. It only takes you like 1 to 3 seconds at least. So it's not going to affect your time too much. Whenever you feel like your head is getting light and you don't know what to do, just breathe. It helps a lot. Second, be confident. My tip of being confident is just think that no one here knows me, no one here is close to me, so I have all the reasons to not be ashamed, because no one here is going to remember me at all. That helps me a lot. Give yourself a reason to be weird. Give yourself a reason to speak up. And then clear. You need to be clear of what you want to say, and you need to be clear of what you are saying. So this helps you to remember that you need to open those mouths out. Make sure you do not mumble. Okay? Do that A-I-U-E-O thing. It really helps, because if you are clear of what you are talking about, it would be clear of the idea that you want to deliver. And make sure to be concise. This is very important, because you don't have that much time. You need to make sure that your idea is concise and you don't have to elaborate too much about something. Even if you do think it's not elaborate enough, I mean, they can still send you a message or by a memo. You don't really have to worry about it too much. And what's next? Eye contact, please, people. Your audience is in front of you, not down on your notes. So this is why I do not recommend you to make a paragraph kind of notes. It doesn't help you. You forgot to engage, and then your notes became your main attention, in which you do not want to. So make sure that your notes is only to assist you. Just put helping points and make sure you use as much as eye contact as possible. Because who would want to talk with someone who doesn't even look at them at the eye? And next, observe your stage techniques. I call these stage techniques because it usually is very apparent on stage performing. So intonation. What's an intonation? Intonation is more like in Indonesia, nada. Like the melody of how you use your voice and the pitch of it or the lowness of it to make sure which one is. Kaget ya Allah. So intonation is when you use your pitch. If there's something that's pretty important, you need to make it kind of low. Because if you lower your voice, it makes it sound dramatic. But if you higher your pitch, it makes it something that's worth to remember. That's kind of like intonation. And then clarity. This was something that I already mentioned before. A, I, U, E, O, people. And then speed. Speed, if it's too fast, it makes it sound like it's not something to be emphasized. For example, if I say I did take some breakfast, it was like cereal and some boxes with some little milk with some little bit lizard, but I don't know, that don't think that matters. Or I did eat with cereal and a lizard. That the difference is, if you use kind of a fast speed, it shows that it's like a complementary part of the sentence. But if you use like slow speed, it uses as a emphasize. It kind of almost the same with the pauses and emphasize, but pause is more like when you use these kind of pauses to make it sound more important. That is the kind of pause that this one is talking about. But this one is talking about speed. Projection. This works more on offline MUNs, if you understand what I'm talking about. Because projection really focuses more on how you use the volume of your voice. Like, you can't speak for too small if there's like 1,000 people in the room. But you can't make your voice too loud if there's only 5 people in the room. That's annoying. So how you use your volume also indicates the emphasis. If you use small voices, it kind of sounds like a weight or suspense or something that doesn't do much. But if you use really big voices, it shows that it is very important and you need to listen, kind of thing. And my favorite part, gestures. Gestures helps you make sense of what you're talking about. It also helps people to have that audio-visual aids of understanding your idea. Gesture also helps you to make it more natural, because it's not only your mouth who does the work. Your mouth is not alone. your mouth is not the only one who's working, and you're taking along everyone from the group to do your job. So gesture really helps you to feel more engaged, and it also helps people to be more engaged. And gesture also helps you to show which ones are the emphasis, and gesture also helps you to make sense of what you're talking about. And that's for delivering a speech. These are some tips that I can suggest you guys to use. How do you know? So how can you make sure you make your own progress? Really, feedback really plays an important role, either from yourself or from other people's feedbacks. To get a feedback from yourself, you can try recording yourself, or just listen to how you talk. Or you can try talking in front of the mirror. Some of people does that, and it really does helps. So because feedbacks helps you to know which one should be revised, or which one should be worked more. And it really is a very effective way to train. Also, you can also mimic speeches that you are fond of. Maybe you're watching a movie and then someone says some really cool line and you think wow, that's so cool. You can try to repeat what this person's saying. It helps you to make sense of why does it sound cool and why does it sound engaging. Oh, some extra tips. You can use your phone to determine your clarity. You can use Google and Siri to know if you mumble or not, because sometimes I train myself by that. So I would use Hey Google to help me call something or play me on the Spotify something. And it shows that when are you mumbling or not. It's a really good on-demand feedback if you want to learn more on clarity. One thing. No one gives a shit about grammar. So if you have a problem of insecurity for your English, thinking that my English sucks, I don't know English, I can't speak in English, no one cares. Believe me. Imagine yourself stranded in an island. It turns out it was UK or Ireland or something, and everyone is speak English, and you can just come to them, approach them, and ask, "Sir, excuse me, toilet. Where? Pee." And the guy would just say, "Oh, the toilet's over there. You just gotta go left, you gotta go right. Don't forget to turn back," etc. like that. So it really just depends if you deliver your main point or not. That really is a very important thing in public speaking. And an extra, we usually don't realize that we always practice our public speaking when we talk with our friends, when we're telling a story to our mother, when we're telling our dad how did we found the food that he liked. So when you tell someone about how you feel about your crush, that's actually, in a sense, public speaking. And you can practice everything that I've said previously to those everyday lives. So don't ever think that public speaking is something that should be separate. It should be something that you can put in your everyday life. So I hope that helps. And fun part, assignment time. Yeah, everything in there is already written, but maybe there is something that I have to point out, that you can make this speech in however the way you want it. You can make it like on time, like when I ask you to come to speak up, and you can make it at that time. Or maybe you can make it 1 hour before the class, or maybe you can make it like 3 days before the class. That's totally okay. That's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And just make sure that you practice, because I know the differences of people who are practicing or not. And for the list of the waves, someone else will help you guys with that. I can't help with that much. And you can contact me here. You can contact me however you want and however you need. I prefer if you contact me through WhatsApp because I'm very inactive in IG regarding direct messages, so might as well, if it's urgent, just go to my WhatsApp. And good luck, and I hope that helps, and have a good day.